Hello everybody, this is Global Warming Skeptic, here to make a short video about the Nevada DNC Convention situation. I've tried to look at this from all angles. I've tried to find even some Hillary supporter documentations. I have yet to find them, but I feel like I can reach a conclusion about this event. Now, first of all, to explain what happened, the Nevada DNC erupted in chaos after the votes were switched from Bernie Sanders to Hillary Clinton based on a number of Bernie Sanders delegates not showing up to the convention on time and not having the proper paperwork to prove that they were registered with the Democratic Party. All of that. Now, I'm going to start this by saying there are legitimate grievances. First of all, with the rules, which were not parliamentary in the least, where the chairwoman has absolute power over everything. There were no challenges to voice votes with shows of hands or roll calls. A lot of the things that we see as parliamentary, which part of the parliamentary procedure is to represent the minority, and that was not done at this convention. It was shameful. There were rules, challenges to rules, and I'll link you to a video that can better explain this. But since there are better explanations, I'm just going to give you my feelings. What the Democratic Party did in Nevada was wrong and it was horrible. Those votes probably should have been counted, especially considering we have the popular vote, and really the delegate count ought to represent the popular vote as best as it can, not just have late people not counted. I can relate with Bernie supporters on this because this is what democracy should be. I didn't like it when it happened to Trump in Colorado, and I don't like it when it happens to Bernie Sanders. I didn't like it when it happened to Hillary Clinton either. When, even though she won Nevada, Bernie wound up with more actual delegates for whatever reason. But there's something else more fundamental, and that is the difference between Colorado with the Republicans, where Ted Cruz walked away with 30 delegates after no votes were counted. There were no votes. The difference between that and the Nevada convention with the Democrats, that'll be a moment, I'll use FDR's words, that will live in infamy for this entire election cycle, because it is the difference between grown adults handling something like grown adults, accepting that something is bad but doing something about it, versus a bunch of whiny, spoiled, little kid brats who think that they're going to change the system. They're going to burn the system down by yelling at a convention, screaming, doing things outside of parliamentary procedure, going outside of the procedures, and just making chaos out of the whole thing. And you don't know what? No. You won't get excuses from me. There will be no excuses for that kind of behavior. Make all the excuses you want, Bernie supporters. I don't care. There is no excuse for that response. You made your candidate look immature, unprepared to control his own people. Shameful. How the violence, how it was so bad that security had to kick the entire DNC out of the hotel. Told them all to get out by 10 a.m. the next morning. There are right ways and there are wrong ways to handle something when you're being screwed. You don't handle things with vigilantism. You don't handle things by rioting with mob culture, acting like a bunch of Nazi brown shirts, thinking that you're cool because you can get into a fight with Hillary supporters. Oh, you're so angry, you're so angry. Well, you're also dumb. And these aren't these aren't like people on the streets fighting because they don't have enough to eat, because they don't have even a basic education because their schools don't teach. These aren't kids on the streets. These are college graduates, students. These are people who are supposed to be educated, and yet here they are acting like children, chanting, screaming obscenities. It's disgusting behavior. It's unacceptable behavior. That would not be accepted as a response to anything. See, we fought the system by raising our voice, raising our voice, raising our voice. But we did it in an orderly manner. We did it in a way that did not create chaos, that did not create violence. We do not want your establishment thrown in our faces, and we will fight, fight, fight you until we get our candidate in. But we're going to fight you with respect, with intelligence, and with perseverance, because we believe in democracy. Democracy will ultimately solve any wrong. Any wrong. Because yes, you can rig one convention, you can rig Colorado so that all the delegates go to Ted Cruz, but you're not gonna get away from democracy forever. Eventually, democracy wins. It always wins, and it always will win, because the voice of the people is what will always matter in the end. And when you do things like this, when you create spectacles, you know what you do? People stop listening. The DNC chair of Nevada, you think they're going to listen to that nonsense? You think they're going to cave in to you being childish? No, they're going to do what they've already done. They're going to say, shame on you, Bernie Sanders, for allowing it, and for not trying to quiet the criticism, for not trying to quiet all the extra parliamentary activities that were going on at the convention. It's disgusting. And I've watched dozens of videos, and mind you, I've tried to make sense of the whole reaction. I've tried to look at from every different angle, from all Bernie supporters I've watched videos from. I've listened to their rationale. I've listened to what led to before and after, and it all comes down to the same thing. Angry at a bad system, that's good. But it's always trying to excuse the action with the corruption. And I'm sorry, but nothing warrants that kind of reaction, folks. In the end, you have to believe in democracy. If you don't believe in democracy, then don't participate in our democracy. Thanks for listening, guys. God bless.